I'm here with ASU head coach Todd Clapper. 2 games today against the Shanghai Sports Institute. A win and a loss. Let's talk about that first game. It came out strong, got a big lead early, held on at the end. Talk about what went into that game and the preparation you had after last night.
That was I mean, they played really well. I mean, the feel of the game was a little different. So we played, kind of a rotation, 6 in, 6 out. Got us some of our younger players some more experience to see how they would respond. They kind of dropped back into a zone pretty early. It wasn't quite as physical as it was the night before. And Maya played really well. And I think that at times she affected their shooting. So they hit a lot of bars too. And we were 8-1 going into the fourth. And and we were able to hold on for a lead. So I was a little disappointed in some of our defensive effort in the fourth quarter, but I was really happy with the first 3 quarters.
Kind of a tale of 2 games there in the second game. Very close, came back in the end, but it fell 10-9. A lot of penalty shots given up in the game. What caused that, and how did the Chinese team change what they did from the first game?
Well, I think the shots that they put away, there was a lot more. It seemed like a lot more velocity on some of their shots. So I don't know if they were angry because they had lost 2, if they were confident, whatever, but they put a lot more behind their shots, which I think made a difference. The entry passes to center, we were just a little off out of our position in terms of the drop, the double team. So that ball got in, even though we might have had somebody back. And so there's a lot of those. There were some penalties in transition, which were mistakes on offense. But overall, I'm really happy with how we're progressing. It was a lot. This game was more physical than the morning game. And I think that both teams are probably, wearing out a little bit. So it's, getting a little more physical, a little more chippy. But, I was happy we kept battling. If we had another minute, probably could have tied it up. And, we blocked a penalty, and then they got a chance to retake the penalty, right? So then there was 1 goal, and then our penalty shot got blocked. So, it was right there. 10 goals is too much, So from a defensive effort, we want to keep teams around 6. So 10 was definitely too many. We missed a shot block, some other things, and so they know they can play better. And then we get 2 more chances. But it was a really good experience tonight. I think we got a lot more out of this afternoon's game than we did from the morning game, because it was just a really a big battle the whole game.
Speaking of having 2 more games, you guys get 5 games over the course of this weekend, early in January. Talk about how that prepares you for the tournament season you're going to go into entering February.
It's really great for us to be able to continue to develop the things we've been working on just in the fall and then the short time in the spring, and really develop them in the game, and they can really start trusting them in the game. And then we can go back and train for 2 weeks and really just sharpen the things up. In the past, we're training, but I don't know that sometimes the team has a vision of what it's going to look like until we actually play games. And here we got a quick forecast of what that's going to look like. They're really trusting and playing together. We're really far along tactically compared to where we've been in past years. So I'm really excited about that. And I don't know if we would have had that same level of focus if our first games were 3 weeks out.
Obviously, you have a core group of returners on this year's team, veterans, but you're also going to have to rely heavily on the likes of Maud, PJ, Rosie, and even, to a sense, Maya in the goal. Talk about what you've seen from them early this year, especially in these first couple games.
Yeah, so with PJ didn't play on Friday night. She's still kind of becoming aggressive and assertive and confident in there, and we had a smaller rotation. But this morning, when we were doing 6 in, 6 out, she really kind of demonstrated what we've been looking from her. And so she got a lot more playing time here. It wasn't perfect, but she's doing really well. I would have liked to have seen her take a few more shots when she was open rather than pass. But I think that's going to come with a little more experience, a little more confidence. Rosie doing a great job offensively for us compared to where she was doing just adjustment center position, coming in November when she was playing Collegiate Cup. She did a decent job, but she's playing better now offensively. Just defensively, those freshmen they just need more time. We just haven't. There's certain things. We were running a defense today that we ran and practiced, I think, 2 days last fall, and we've drawn it up and they've seen it. But we were running a defense that we really haven't had that much time to run, and we did pretty well at it. And the freshmen, they struggled, they made some mistakes, but then they were able to learn and adjust throughout the game. Mal's just ready right away. I mean, she's experienced. She sees the pool really well. So from that standpoint, it's just starting to learn like how to where to put the ball when she's shooting. A few little things here, but for her, it's like more kind of little tweaks as well as learning the system. But she gets things pretty quickly. She's got a lot of experience and doing well. And we've got a couple other sophomores that we're hoping that are going to come along through this weekend and through the next couple weeks of training and really give us a little bit more depth as well.
And 2 more games tomorrow. What would you like to see from your team in these final 2 games to kind of close out the weekend?
Defense and counterattack, and that's kind of what we've been working on. So really focus on stopping them from scoring and making those little adjustments. We'll show them tomorrow morning. We talked about it, but we'll show them on the board, what the adjustment we need to make defensively to make sure that ball's not getting to center so often. And then really just we got to push the counter a little bit more. I mean, we weren't getting the same opportunities we were getting in the first 2 games. They were shutting us down a little bit more on the counterattack. But we can get them. I mean, they might be a 5-on-4 or 6-on-5 counter, but we can still get them. But I think in the other games, they were giving us a few each game of a 3-on-2, 2-on-1. And so from that standpoint, that kind of opens the game up a little bit and gives you a little bit of a cushion. So there's not giving us that so much. So we got to push and organize those 5-on-4s and 6-on-5 counters a little bit more.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Cool. Thanks a lot.